This is my Klingon Empire episode entitled Bringing Down the House. We're going to the Keter Lowlands where the House of Martok resides. Lady Sorella, Martok's wife, has asked for us personally. Maybe she happens to know more about this potential of taking the house down. If Worf won't listen to us, then maybe Lady Sorella will. Is our hope, at least. She can be reasonable at times. Alright, let's make our way to Lady Sorella. Not a bad looking place. And this is still on the Klingon homeworld. There she is, Lady Sorella.
Welcome. Greetings, Kemtar. It pleases me that you have both come to my home. The House of Martok has many enemies. We have called for vengeance against the House of Jempok and all of its allies for the death of my husband. And many smaller houses seek to curry favor with Jempok or the House of Duras by striking at us. Until now, most of these attacks have been little more than a nuisance.
A little more than a nuisance?
When we received word from Kemtar that one of the houses may be plotting to assassinate Worf, it confirmed my suspicions that there is a greater threat emerging. I now believe that my grandson Maven may also be a target. These assassins threaten to destabilize our position on the High Council. Whoever has ordered such a dishonorable act, or who would be cowardly enough to carry it out, must be stopped. Given your current investigation, I ask that you find the assassin and remove the threat before they attempt a strike.
Your cooperation will be much appreciated, Lady Sorella.
Yes, we value your concerns, and we will proceed with caution in our investigation. It is refreshing and a testimony to the dignity of House Martok that you're willing to speak out and recognize this looming threat. May I ask where your grandson Maven is now?
He is on his way to the Batleth tournament on Forcas 3 with your father. Worf assured me that he would handle security matters during the trip. But that was before you reported your findings to me.
In that case, we should head to the Forcas.
Before you go, I have another concern. Our local farmers reported seeing a Romulan here recently. Given Kimtar's suspicions of a house collaborating with the Tal Shiar, it seems to be an odd coincidence. We need to know what the Romulan was doing here before you leave for the tournament.
We'll look for this Romulan. We've dealt with them before. Why would a
Romulan come anywhere near these farms?
There's no strategic value. No disrespect to the House of Martok, but there is no strategic value in coming to these farms. I'll have to ask some of the local farmers. I don't have to ask all of them, just I think up to 3 of them.
The only thing I've paid attention to of late has been the lack of rain. But you're a warrior, not a farmer. You wouldn't be interested in that. Sorry, I couldn't help you.
Well, that wasn't helpful at all. I'll ask someone else.
The Tards have been busy tearing up my roots. But other than that, I haven't seen anything unusual.
Strike 2. We'll ask another farmer. Somebody has to know something. Any information.
I remember seeing that Romulan. He said he was a surveyor hired to architect a new irrigation system. He set up equipment on the hill over there. But I haven't seen him lately. It wouldn't surprise me if he's up to no good. You can never trust a Romulan.
Thank you for your information. So he's a surveyor.
Sorella would have known if a Romulan surveyor was on her property. Stay alert.
Romulans have been known to pass lies, so there's a chance he may not be a surveyor at all, but a saboteur. However, I can't prove that fully. Gotta investigate his location. Perhaps he left something behind that we can trace. What would he need with it? We'll find out. Let's go ahead and kick it. Let's go find the foreman. Wait a second. That's some enemy. No. Just wild targs. Easy boy. Got domesticated targs, and then there are wild ones. These just happen to be the wild ones. And the foreman is all the way down here. Nice jog down the hill. Never hurt anybody.
Yes, I remember this man. It's not every day you see a Romulan in the Ketha lowlands. He didn't say he was a surveyor, though. He told me that he was a part of a diplomatic delegation studying our agriculture.
Another lie.
Martok would have never let a Romulan set foot on our world. That's why I don't think much of Jumpak. He's too soft. The oddest thing I remember, other than him being a Romulan, was that he personally scheduled the delivery of goods to the farm. That is against our security procedures. Lady Sorella insists on authorizing all deliveries to the manor.
This is starting to make sense.
However, his codes were valid, and he had Lady Sorella's signature, so I did as he asked. His delivery arrived today. It was the large package we moved to the grain storage shed near the house of Martok's manor. Knep would know what was ordered. He handles most of Lady Sorella's business transactions.
We gotta find this Romulan and inspect what he delivered.
Now he's a diplomat? I don't buy it. We're dealing with a tall shot or spy.
That seems like quite a fall. Oh well. I lost a little bit of health, but it came back. It's better than trying to find a route down the hill. It's not that big of a fall. Anyway.
I processed that delivery. It was an order for the House of Martok. They needed explosives for digging out a new irrigation system. The order was placed by Lady Sorella with her signature and authorization codes. She must need the new irrigation channel badly. Normally, Sorella delays such tasks until the winter, when the farm hands aren't busy with planting and harvesting.
This isn't good. If it's explosives, we need to get to that package at once. Alright, let's get back to the manor and hurry. It's the fastest way to get up there. Just take this route. And unfortunately, I can't run any faster. It's not because my species doesn't run as quickly, it's just that's how fast the game lets me run. See, Romulans. Scientists. They were waiting in plain sight. There's an assassin here somewhere. Gotta find them before they do any damage. I said this was a non-strategic place, but if you put bombs near the manor, it possibly gets rid of Lady Sorella, and therefore the House of Martok collapses completely. They're doing it inward. Instead of facing the House of Martok up close and personal, they're doing it by sneaky methods. Using an assassin and bombs. If this was a Klingon thing, it would be completely dishonorable. But we're dealing with Romulans here, so it's obvious that they were never
There he
honorable.
is! Stop him!
Alright, what are you doing?
The House of Martok will crumble, and with it, the rest of the Klingon Empire. You cannot stop what has begun.
Team, shoot this for check before he beams out. And he beamed out. Let's defuse this bomb. Alright, Utag, beam us up. We need to do some scans. There is a cloaked ship up here. We need to chase it down. We will support the Chancellor's position for now. And in the meantime, let's scan for cloaked vessels. Very well then. Considering that Romulans use singularity cores, scan for singularity core emissions. Alright then, Helm, take us closer to those asteroids. Prepare to scan for traces of a singularity. Klingon and Federation ships use standard warp drives. Romulan ships use what is considered singularity cores. More potent when they explode. As you saw in the previous episode when I took on a Romulan warbird. That's the difference when we dealing with the Romulans. Even though the Klingons and the Romulans both use cloaking technology, there's usually some difference in the variance of each cloaking device. In this case, because of the movement of a cloaked ship, it gives off certain emissions. In this case, a singularity core emission. I doubt if a Romulan would be foolish enough to be in a Klingon ship. Coming onto the position now. Don't want to overshoot it, so use my standard speed as it is. It's telling me it's straight ahead. Of course, it could be above me or below me. You never know. I've had problems with this in the past. Bear with me, folks. Okay, for the meantime, I'm switching to full impulse as my default setting, just in case I overshoot it. I'm going to check below, see what they have. Wait a second. Full stop, full stop. He's after Worf and Maven.
Lady Sorella's suspicions were correct. The Romulan is going to make an attempt on her grandson's life. While my father is a formidable warrior, this time he may be overwhelmed. We must set a course for the Forcus system at once.
Agreed. Helm, plot a course. Prepare to leave orbit. Maximum warp. Forcus is a pretty long ways away from where I'm at. Here's Kronos, the homeworld of the Klingon Empire, and the Forcus system is right here. Just give everyone a perspective. I'm here, and here's the Forcus system. Setting a course now. Course, let me check my warp factor. Only 5.56. So it's going to be a while. Unless... No, I don't want to transwarp because I get the feeling it's going to send me back to Kronos. This is just going to be one of those basic things I got to last for a while. In the meantime, there's actually a device here that I can use that'll speed up my leveling experience. It's an experience bonus pool. I just utilized it, so when I level up after this mission, I'll probably get to level 10 quicker. Because when I reach level 10, I'll get a free ship. I'll be out of this bird of prey and then something else. Passing the Tong Nebula now. We'll be entering the Ultha sector. Like I said before, when I reach level 65 in this character, my warp factor will be extremely faster than what I'm dealing with now, but that's the price you pay for being a new character and all. There's nothing I can actually do to increase my warp factor. I just gotta go with what they give me. Check my skills real quick. Here's another thing too, when I reach up to this point in my skills, I'll get like an extra bonus for that particular setting. For engineering, I'll either get hangar health, which will help my hangar pets, like a carrier or something, or whenever I utilize the batteries. This one's going to be most likely what I use. Increases sector space travel speed by 25%. And then this, of course, is threat control. Or hangar weaponry. If that's the case, I'll probably use the hangar weaponry. Alright, we're getting close to the fork system. Once we get to the Forcus system, we got to alert Worf and Maven of the possible threat. Worf wouldn't listen to us before. Excuse me. Maybe he'll listen now when the throat's at his when a blade's at his throat. It makes sense not to go after Worf and Maven while they're on the home world. Wait until they're off world, someplace not suspicious enough for a Romulan to be, and it's far away from prying eyes. Alright, let's continue the mission. Do I expect him to be in orbit right away? I don't know. He was in a cloaked ship, so he might be cloaked. And I doubt he's got reinforcements with him. We need to warn Worf.
I've attempted to contact him, but with the Batleth tournament underway, he is not responding. It is unclear if he is unavailable, or if something has happened to him. We'll need to beam down to the surface to know for certain.
Tactical, have you located that ship yet? Alright, put him on screen. Let's see what he has to say.
You are becoming an annoyance. You have made yourself a target by defending the House of Martok. By following me here, you've given me no choice but to destroy you.
All hands battle stations. I was hoping for a fight. Here's something interesting. I'm going to cloak my ship. I'm going to get really close to him. His sensors can't penetrate my cloak. Unfortunately, the same thing applies to him. I can't penetrate his cloak. If I get close enough and activate high-yield torpedo, I'll really give him a kick. I think that's close enough. First off, let's enhance the induction coils. High-yield torpedo activated. Disengage cloak. Oh yeah, that gave him a kick. He can't have gotten far. In the meantime, let's cloak our ship. So one thing I like about being a Klingon character is that regardless of what ship you get in the beginning, you always will have a cloaking device. I mean, to the average person, to the viewer, you can see that my ship is cloaked. But to enemy sensors, as far as they know, there's nothing there. Picked a smart place to hide inside an asteroid belt. Where could he be? his cloak is damaged, it won't last for long. Wait a second. Those are Burrell Bird of Preys. Why are they highlighted as red? This might sound weird, but it has been known that some Klingons have in the past worked with the Romulans. If that's the case, attack.
Klingon traitors are helping the Romulan.
It's not unexpected. It's discouraging, to say the least, but it's not unexpected. There was only 3 of them. Well, lock a tractor beam.
Target's shields have failed.
Of course he gets away. I've crippled him at this point. I agree. In the meantime, cloak the ship. If there are more Klingon ships out there, we gotta be ready for them. All we took on was 3 Bird of Preys. I expect heavier targets to come in at me. Let's go towards that next Tetrion particle trace.
You cannot stop what is already set in motion. The Klingon Empire will fall.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Target's shields have failed.
Where's that Romulan ship? Tractor beam. There's a singularity explosion.
We've destroyed his ship, but Tarson may have already transported agents to the surface. He also appears to have Klingon collaborators already in place. I recommend that you and I beam down discreetly and quickly locate Worf and Maven.
Will do. Just because we destroyed his ship doesn't necessarily mean the threat is over. Just as we were about ready to destroy him, we probably sent down several agents to deal with Worf and Maven. What's even more concerning now is that if those Klingons were willing to help a Romulan, there's also a chance that the Klingons down at the Forcus planet might be against us too. We've got to be alert.
We do not want to draw large amounts of attention, but remember that protecting Maven is our highest priority. Let no one stand in our way. Romulan infiltrators will have a hard time navigating an arena full of Klingons. I recommend we start by asking in the bar to see if anyone has seen or heard anything unusual.
Alright, let's start in the bar. Get the feeling we're going to be dealing with a lot of drunken Klingons anyway.
Did you see Jim Puck when he was young and still fighting in the tournaments? Oh, now that was something to behold. He was masterful and fluent, not like the young tarts here these days. I'm surprised that some of them can hold on to their paddlets for the entire match.
That was kind of useless.
Wonderful! Another stout warrior eager to hear a story of my glory days in battle. Pull up a chair and I'll allow you the honor of bowing me a bloodline.
Perhaps next time.
Have you seen the fighter from the House of Duras? He looks like a real contender for champion standing. I'll bet you a barrel of blood wine that he wins without taking a single wound.
Am I gonna get any information out of these bar patrons?
General Chang fought the Master Corps, both in their prime fighting condition. Who do you think would take champion standing?
I don't know.
And what do you think of the new rule restricting botnet links to between 110 and 120 centimeters?
As far as the rule goes, I don't really care at this point. This is becoming pointless.
Do you really think a Romulan would be foolish enough to beam down to an arena filled with hundreds of Klingon warriors? Besides, ever since that one tournament where the champion of the House of Mokai used a transporter to steal his opponent's bat'leth in the middle of a fight, there are transport inhibitors in place. The only places they can operate are the transport pads and cargo storage.
Derek, report. They can't hide from us forever. Good work, Derek.
Hearing the chanting and sounds of bat'leths reminds me of the first time I celebrated the Kotbatval festival. That was the first time I remember understanding what it means to be a Klingon warrior.
Uh-oh. It's a security guard. Someone snapped this guard's neck. Our assassin is near. Look who they have. There we go with our Tal Shiar agents. I'm gonna check the security logs. Not in this room, obviously. Well, apparently it was. I just didn't see it.
That Tal Shiar agent was attempting to erase the security logs in the cargo area. He also sealed the doors with a security lockout. It would take too much time to override this work. Our best chance of getting into the storage area would be to disrupt the power flow to the cargo bay doors.
Agreed, let's head there at once.
Chasing these assassins reminds me of when I met Kimtar.
What do you mean? Aren't you Kentar?
No. Kimtar was the name of a warrior who saved my father from assassins on Moronga 4.
Another guard. Another dead guard. Prepare your weapon. Okay, we gotta disrupt the power flow to the cargo bay doors.
The control system reports that the outer door to the cargo bay has been unlocked, but the inner door remains sealed shut. We'll need to blast that door, get inside, and stop this miserable Tuba.
You said before that it doesn't matter, but I'd like to know your real name.
I am Alexander, son of Worf and Kalar, a member of the House of Martok.
You fight well, Alexander, for a diplomat. Now that we know the full truth, gotta press on. So all I gotta do is target the door. There's Maven.
There's Maven. He's pinned down by the assassins.
Worf.
Maven! No!
This was an honorable death.
Maven. He's dead.
What is the meaning of this, Alexander? Maven was sent here to replace his equipment, and yet I find you here, surrounded by Romulans with the grandson of Martok dead at your feet. Explain yourself.
This was not Kemtar's doing.
Lady Sorella feared that you alone would not be able to keep her grandson safe. We followed these Romulans here and would have stopped them had these halls not been filled with Klingon traitors. And where were you when these assassins struck?
Both of you stop. We must focus on finding the real enemy here.
I see you have been listening to my son's conspiracy theories again. He talks of peace and uniting the houses, yet here he is, with a blade in his hand, looking for glory. I told you I wanted nothing to do with this.
With respect, sir, we have proof that another house is behind this.
While you were here at the tournament, assassins moved against Lady Sorella at her own estate. If we hadn't tracked down this agent and disarmed his explosive, she would be dead as well. At every step, we have encountered Klingons, hiding in the shadows, with blades at our backs.
What Kemtar says is the truth. We must find these traitors and put an end to this plot.
I have not seen this evidence, but I believe what you say. We will get to the bottom of this. That does not mean we can act rashly. If there were Klingons aiding these agents, then we are still in danger.
If we uncover the identity of this rival house, then they will be forced to act in the open where we can fight them head on.
Agreed. One of the great houses is here backing the Romulans, and they will try to escape before their role in this plot is revealed. One of the Klingons we killed on the way here was wearing a tournament sash. We should check the training rooms of each house in attendance and look for evidence that would connect them to the Romulans.
Alright, we'll uncover this plot together.
We must uncover the Klingon collaborators who helped Tarson kill Maven. Tarson had assistants on the ground. We will proceed with the plan to check the training rooms here before the villains have a chance to cover up their crime.
Alright. Kemtar was telling me about all that of this, reminding him of the time you were almost killed on Moringa 4.
I was just thinking of that. We cannot always see what the future will bring.
That is why we cannot give up on peace, even if some of us cannot see a way to that future.
The great houses will never find peace. They see it as a sign of weakness.
I will not abandon my beliefs, Father. We cannot live in fear that the future will never change.
It is good to know that you remember some of the things I have taught you.
Here's the actual tournament hall. Let's search those training rooms. Any evidence that's just a Romulan plot will be in one of these rooms, hopefully. Let's check some of this equipment.
It would surprise me if the House of Antak were involved. Other than an abundance of medical supplies, nothing appears to be out of the ordinary. We should move on.
That's one down. What kind of evidence am I expecting to find? I don't know. Something that ties the Romulans into this.
I will see to it that Maven's belongings are prepared for transport back to the House of Martok's estate on Kronos. We should move on to the other training rooms.
Very well. I'm guessing by what he said this was Maven's training room. At least we know he wasn't involved.
The gear here in the House of Nogra's training room is typical of the weapons used in the tournament. I'm relieved that Nogra does not appear to be involved. Ever since they took in my uncle.
Alexander, you were told not to discuss this. It is a private family matter. We will move on.
I understand. Let's continue our search. For those of you who have watched Star Trek Yellow Springs, you know what he's talking about.
Ever since Urapinthe, I have been suspicious of the House of Torg. And now it appears they were preparing to leave the tournament early. Look at this state of disarray. We must look for evidence that may link them to the Romulan assassins.
Well, apparently someone left a disruptor on the floor, and it's not
These
Klingon.
are Romulan weapons. It appears that your suspicions have been correct. It must be the House of Torg. We must confiscate this evidence, and then warn the rest of House Martok.
We will reveal their treachery to the Empire. Of course. Oh, they send more. In that case, I'm going to deploy some mines for you. Any more?
Sorella and the rest of the House of Martok will mourn for her grandson. But I must also see that security remains a priority. To start, I am sending you a recruit from our house, the warrior Valera. She's been personally trained by me and will aid your crew as we fight against the House of Torg.
Thank you, Ambassador.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander.
Well, folks, I just leveled up to level 10. Let's see what Kemtar wants. I'm sorry, Alexander.
So, it was the House of Torg all along. I had my suspicions when I first arrived on Urapenthe and spoke with the Warden. No wonder they made such an effort to chase us down before we could escape. They have been feuding with Martok for some time. But to collaborate with the Tal Shiar? It's unthinkable.
Unthinkable, but not impossible. Some Klingons have no honor. Unfortunately, it's hard to tell which ones do. Chancellor Jempok is hailing me. Put him on screen. Very well then. Helm, plot a course for Kronos. Maximum warp. This is what I meant by every 10 levels I get a free ship. The one I had was pretty good, don't get me wrong, but the next one I'm going to get will be even better. And I get a choice. I only get one free ship token for every 10 levels, so I gotta be careful. Lead me to the shipyard, Transporter Chief. Gotta make sure I pick the right one. And it doesn't. There's no right or wrong answer, but you, like I said, you only get one free token every 10 levels. After that, you gotta buy them. Let's see what he's got. Let's see, I started as tier 1, now let's go to tier 2. Let's see. I can go with the Sunraw Raptor. Well done, Bird of Prey. And Taco Battlecruiser. Looks like a Bird of Prey, just a little bit heavier. I think I'll go with this one for my free ship token. Because I'm an engineer, this ship is geared towards an engineering officer. It honors the famed IKS Katango, a battlecruiser commanded by the Dahar Master Kang. Nice. I'll go with this one. Garok. Now, let's go ahead and switch to it using the weapons that I got right now. Let's see, I'll switch my quantum torpedo out, put it on the forward side, and then put that Harpang torpedo on the aft side. I'm thinking that I put my disruptor right here. Then I'm going to take my turret off and put it right here. Same thing goes with the shield, the deflector, impulse engine, and warp core. I'm going to put it here, replace what they gave me. As far as tactical console goes, I'll go with this one, and take this one off, and then this one off. And then let's see, what else do I have in the way of engineering console? I'll take this, put it on the engineering section. It's universal, so it can go anywhere. And let's see, I'll put a weapons battery here. engine battery and the shield battery. And then I'm going to save this loadout. Call it Karak 1. Now let's take a look at, first off, that's another thing too, every 10 levels I get a new trait unlocked, so it's personal ground traits. Let's see what else can be used here. For right now, until I get more manuals, let's use this one, toxic damage resistance. For personal space, let's increase the defenses. Ground skills, endurance training. And I'm going to device expertise. Let's do the same thing here. Improve my shield capacity. First off, let's switch to that other ship. And now, before I go anywhere else, let's check the crew stations. Like I said before, that'll do me for a little bit. Let's get a sneak peek at the next episode.
The idea that one of the great houses is conspiring with Romulans to attack the House of Martok is troublesome. Come to the Kether Lowlands. Worf and I would be honored if you would participate in Mevon's Hegte. Once we have put our family matters to rest, you may work with Worf and Kimtar to determine our plan of attack.
Sounds reasonable.
Serve the Empire well.
Okay, folks, I hope you enjoyed this latest episode. I'll see you for episode 8. In the meantime, this is Captain Chris Dorn, signing off.